So, hello fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And I think that we need some paleo foods to match our potentially paleo diet. Um, there are a group of people who suggest um, a paleo diet and a paleo lifestyle in some aspects. Um, and one of the things that, I've seen some videos of it. I'm not an expert on the idea that, hey, humanity is really a Stone Age um, organism, and evolution would not allow us to adapt fast enough. We have, through our intelligence, have been able to change things a lot faster than evolution works at, the pace that evolution works at. And as a result, there can be many benefits to subjecting ourselves, our diet, maybe some aspects of our lifestyle, to this period of time to which we really are still adapted. That's, I think, is the idea of a paleo diet. The problem, I think, with the paleo diet is that it may ignore the fact that many of the foods that are available to us currently, or that we think of as food, are we have adapted them. We have adapted them faster than our bodies have been able to adapt to them. Um, Part of my reasoning for going down this path is that I was aware of the paleo diet, and I thought it was BS, honestly, because as one of these, maybe it's an anthropologist, pointed out, which paleo diet? A diet from Western Africa or Eastern Africa, or from Europe, or from the Middle East, or Asia, or the Americas? Which paleo diet? And if we are to suggest that, okay, it's an African diet, are any of these paleo diets suggesting an African diet, a diet based on foods from the area that we initially evolved in? I really, really doubt it. I don't think so at all. And that is part of the inherently ridiculousness of it for me. Um, that, hey, if you want to really talk about paleo, then yeah, of course there would be problems such as the fact that different groups have evolved certain evolutionary traits. So for example, um, people in the Himalayas, they have evolved um, to be able to uh, live at a high altitude. Even people around Kilimanjaro, I think, people have adapted to be able to drink milk many different times. Um, Eskimos have adapted to a diet that is higher in meat and beef. So it's not the kind of adaptation where you would see your teeth change, for example, because I don't think that, and I'm sorry if I'm saying Eskimo people and it's Inuit people, um, but there have been adaptations, and how do those figure into this paleo diet? Now, a second reason for me making this piece is that I went looking to see the kind of nutrients that, the recommended daily allowances of various nutrients and minimum and so on. And in looking, I found that amongst the foods that were readily accessible to me, and I presume to many other people in Western society, um, the amounts of nutrients, relatively speaking to the recommended daily allowance, were just, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to be able to just eat whatever you wanted and know that you were getting enough of whatever nutrients we're supposed to have. So I thought, hmm, in a paleo world with, not as much cooking, for example, nutrients would have been harder to get. And as a result of that, we would have needed to probably eat a lot more foods in order to get the calories actually that we would have needed. Because maybe we weren't cooking as much as we do today. Maybe the foods they had not been evolved. Well, it's not evolved. They had not been changed by us to have higher calories. I mean, the foods that, the food that, or the plant that was originally corn or wheat or any citrus fruit or apples or any of these things, um, they would not have had as many calories in the past. Bananas, certainly not. But as we cultivated them, we wanted foods that had higher calories. And as a result, we wouldn't need to eat because it's inconvenient. It's inconvenient to run for your food. It's a lot easier to just have your food farmed, sitting down there waiting for you. So we would have wanted to make life easier. Of course, we would not have actually been able to measure the amount of nutrients that are in these various foods in order to specifically hone in and encourage that kind of development. So what we probably would have ended up with is the same situation that we have now, which is that we have so many high calorie foods that just don't have enough of the nutrients that we used to get by eating so many or so much food in the past in order to get the calories that we needed. So I think what I'm thinking of, and in addition to that, you can kind of see the fact that we don't really need our molars anymore. It's my suspicion that because we were doing so much eating of foods that did not have that many calories in them, of course, our teeth would not have decayed uh, so quickly. But we probably it would have been welcome to have these teeth um, come out at a later age in order to help with whatever teeth we might have already lost in life and help us to continue to chew all of these fibrous, um, less nutritious. Well, they would have been, well, I don't know if they would have been more or less nutritious. That would have been hard to say because we just had to eat a lot more of them. But yeah, that would have been why we have molars. And now we don't need molars because most of us are eating primarily cooked food. So it suggests to me that if we potentially we can have this paleo diet, but we need paleo foods. I don't know how many of us would be too excited to be eating way more than we currently eat, but maybe that is something that is what we were designed for and have not yet evolved away from, to need less nutrients or all these different nutrients that are recommended. We have not been selected. There hasn't been any selection pressure or enough selection pressure to make us be able to survive with even less of these nutrients. But yeah, I think it's an interesting idea that we needed to eat more in the past, and that's why we got so many of the nutrients that we need now that might be hard to find in the foods that are available to us at the amount of calories, at a proper amount of calories, because we could probably get enough of the nutrients that we wanted, but we would probably have eaten so many modern day calories in a bid to get those nutrients that it wouldn't really make sense. It'd be something's out of whack there. Um, so I think I might do another piece on this at some other point because maybe I might take a look at what modern day foods are available to us that are lower calories, and if people would prefer to just be constantly munching on something all throughout the day rather than having, these 3 meals, maybe some snacks in between. Um, yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you did, have a good one. Peace.